What they're doing every night will shock you, my beloved soul. Do not scroll past this. Do not half listen. Stay until the very last word. Something hug is waiting for you inside this truth. If your eyes are on these words, if your heart is leaning in right now, it is not an accident. You were guided here. You were nudged here. You were brought here by a quiet current you cannot see but you can feel. Don't skip. Every night, when the noise fades, when the notifications slow down, when the world forgets to pretend for a few hours, something begins that you have not been told. A pattern appears in the dark. A ritual repeats in silence. And it has everything to do with you. There is someone, connected to your story, connected to your spirit, who does the same thing night after night. No one announces it. No one posts about it. No one updates a status saying, "I'm thinking of you again." But they are. Every single night. Don't skip. Hear this fully. They are not doing it for attention. They are not doing it because they love drama. They are not doing it to be seen as spiritual or deep or mysterious. They are doing it because when the lights go out, there is nowhere left to hide from what their heart actually feels. And every night, their heart walks back to you. They lie there, staring at the ceiling, at the cracks in the paint, at the shadows on the wall. They pick up their phone and put it down again. They type and erase. Type. Erase. Type. Erase. They open your chat. They scroll up through your conversations. They see the last message sent, the last emoji, the last "okay" or "take care," and their chest tightens. They wonder how something so small could feel so final. Don't skip. You think you are the only one feeling this strange late-night heaviness. You think you are the only one suddenly remembering small moments for no clear reason. But you are not alone in this. You are not making it up. Every night, while you're overthinking whether you should care or move on, they are quietly realizing they never really stopped caring. They replay little things, the way you laughed that one day. The way your eyes got softer when you were tired. The way you changed the subject when something hurt too much to explain. The silence in between your words that said more than any sentence could. They remember things they never told you mattered. They remember details you thought they forgot. They remember you in ways they can't forget. Stay till the end. Something hug is waiting for you. During the day, they survive. They show up. They work. They joke. They scroll. They answer, "I'm fine," when people ask how they're doing. And maybe you see them and think they're okay. Maybe you check their feed and it looks like life moved on smoothly. Maybe you tell yourself a story that they don't think about you at all. But the day is not the whole truth. The day is the mask. The night is the mirror. At night, when no one is watching, when their room is dark and their mind is loud, that is when your name returns. That is when your memory catches up with them. That is when their soul finally sits down and admits what they refuse to see in daylight. Don't skip. You have felt sudden waves of emotion with no explanation. You have had nights where your chest felt full, then empty, then full again, like a tide pulling at you from somewhere you couldn't name. You have looked at the clock at the same strange time more than once. You have woken up from dreams of faces and feelings that didn't make sense. It is not just stress. It is not just nostalgia. It is not just your imagination chasing shadows. There is energy moving between you and them. Thoughts are not trapped inside the brain. Emotions do not vanish into thin air. They travel. They reach. They touch what belongs to them, even from far away. And every night, their thoughts travel toward you. Sometimes it is just a question. Are you okay? Sometimes it is a regret. I should have listened. Sometimes it is a wish. I wish they could see the version of me I'm trying to become. Sometimes it is a prayer whispered into the darkness, with no name but yours attached to it. Don't skip. You need to hear this part. They are not plotting against you. They are not cursing you. They are not sitting in the dark hoping bad things happen to you. That is not what this is. Their nightly thoughts are raw, but they are not cruel. They are heavy because they are honest. They are intense because they are real. They are deep because your connection was never shallow. They sit with the truth they avoided for too long. They sit with the realization that you meant more than their fear allowed them to show. They sit with the weight of knowing they held back when they should have leaned in. Night after night, they reach the same point: they miss you. They respect you. They are grateful for you. And they are not sure what to do about it. Something hug is waiting for you. Don't look away now. Some nights, they are brave in their mind. They imagine messaging you, calling you, showing up honestly instead of half-heartedly. They rehearse entire conversations in their head. Hey, can we talk? Hey, I owe you an explanation. Hey, I was scared. I handled things badly. You didn't imagine how much you mattered to me. They see your name on their screen. They hover over it. Their thumb shakes. Their chest gets tight. Fear steps in. Pride raises an eyebrow. Old wounds whisper, "What if you get hurt again?" So they lock their phone. They put it face down. They say, maybe tomorrow. But tomorrow comes, and the day distracts them. Until night returns and the cycle repeats. Don't skip. Even when they do nothing outwardly, something is happening inwardly. The unsent messages are still energy. The unsaid apologies are still vibration. The unspoken love is still real. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is often processing. Silence is often the hallway between two rooms, who they were and who they are trying to become. Every night, they walk that hallway. They meet versions of themselves they used to be. The one who avoided emotions. The one who joked instead of being vulnerable. The one who chose distance over honesty. And in that hallway, every time, your face appears. Not to haunt them. To teach them. To remind them. Stay till the end. You need the whole picture. You may have noticed your own heart changing quietly. You are calmer in situations that used to make you anxious. You are less willing to chase what does not meet you halfway. You are more aware of your worth, of your limits, of your softness and your strength. This is not random. This is alignment. As they become more honest with themselves, you are becoming more honest with yourself too. As they learn to feel instead of avoid, you are learning to receive instead of cling. As they heal silently, you are reclaiming your power gently. Two journeys, separate but synchronized. Two souls, not forcing, not begging, just slowly understanding. Don't skip. They are not dreaming of perfection with you. They are not imagining some unrealistic, movie-type story. They are not sitting there thinking everything will magically fix itself. They are imagining something different. Something real. Something grounded. They imagine a conversation where nothing is rushed. No sides taken. No defensiveness, just listening. No performance, just presence. They imagine being able to say, "This is how I felt," without fear of judgment. They imagine asking, "How did you really feel?" and staying to hear the full answer, even if it hurts. And as they imagine this, something inside them unclenches. The fear loses its grip, slowly. The pride softens, bit by bit. Night after night, they are training their heart to be braver. Something hug is waiting for you. Don't walk away from this message. They remember how you saw them. How you noticed things others missed. How you gave them patience they did not always deserve. How you offered understanding even when your own heart was tired. Some nights they feel overwhelmed with gratitude. They whisper, "Thank you," into the darkness. Not to the room. Not to their ceiling. To you. To your soul. To the version of you that loved when things were confusing. Other nights, they feel the sting of sadness. Not just because of what was lost, but because of what was never fully allowed to live. Words that stayed stuck in their throat. Feelings that were locked behind their ribcage. Moments that could have been more if only they had been braver. They do not sit there bashing themselves endlessly. But they do hold themselves accountable. They do admit their part. They do see how their fears disguised themselves as logic and being careful, when really, they were just hiding. Stay till the end. You might feel, even now, a strange mix of warmth and ache in your chest. That is your intuition recognizing truth. That is your spirit saying, "I knew I was not crazy. I knew I felt something real." No, you were not the only one who cared. No, you were not the only one impacted. No, your heart did not make this whole story up. Every time you suddenly feel a calm wave wash over you for no reason, it might be because they finally stopped resisting the truth for a moment. Every time you sense a soft closure inside, even without words, it might be because they're sending a quiet intention your way. May they be at peace. May they heal. May they know they were never just anyone to me. Don't skip. They are not sitting there planning grand gestures. They are not scripting apologies to post publicly. They are not promising the universe things they know they won't keep. They are doing something far more important. They are changing patterns. Patterns of shutting down. Patterns of distancing. Patterns of staying numb. Patterns of pretending not to care to avoid getting hurt. And every time they choose to feel instead of run, to reflect instead of distract, to forgive instead of blame, they get one step closer to being the person who can meet you honestly, whether as a friend, a partner, or simply as a soul that honors you. Something hug is waiting for you. Stay. Some nights, they write. They open a notes app or a journal and pour everything out because a part of them knows it cannot stay stuck inside forever. They write about the first time you made them feel seen. They write about the moment they realized they were starting to care more than they expected. They write about how fear pulled them back. They write about how your absence feels different from any other absence. They do not always plan to send these words. Sometimes they just need to see them on a page to believe them themselves. To admit, yes, I did love. Yes, I did care. Yes, this connection woke something in me I didn't know was sleeping. Don't skip. You think nights are only for sleep and scrolling. But nights are sacred classrooms. Nights are where souls go to finally sit down and do the homework life handed them. And you, my beloved soul, are one of their most important lessons. Not a mistake. Not a regret. A turning point. You were the mirror that reflected back their patterns. You were the light that showed them where they were still afraid of intimacy. You were the softness that revealed where their armor was unnecessarily heavy. They may never fully explain this in words. But they feel it. They know. Stay till the end. You need the reassurance this brings. You might have asked yourself, many times, why can't I completely move on? Why does their energy still show up in my life in small ways? And maybe you judged yourself for it. Maybe you thought you were stuck or foolish. But you are not stuck. You are sensitive. You are connected. You are perceiving what is happening behind the scenes. When someone is consistently placing their attention, their questions, their wishes on you, it creates a road between your souls. A quiet, invisible road. And some nights, when your guard is down, you can feel footsteps on that road. Don't skip. This is not about obsession. This is not about unhealthy attachment. This is not about tossing your life aside waiting for someone else to finally be ready. This is about awareness. About knowing that there is a bigger process unfolding than what you see on screens. About trusting that your heart did not attach itself without reason. You are not being asked to pause your life. You are not being asked to chase. You are not being asked to guess every hidden message. You are simply being invited to relax into the knowing that you were, and are, deeply felt. Something hug is waiting for you. As nights pass, they begin to recognize patterns in themselves. How their body softens at the thought of you. How the anxiety they once felt around vulnerability now feels more like a gentle nervous excitement. How the walls they built to keep out hurt have also kept out warmth, support, and love. They realize their so-called independence sometimes was just loneliness wearing a brave face. They see that what they called protecting themselves often meant pushing away what was actually good for them. And in this realization, you appear again, not as a wound, but as a guide. As proof that connection can be kind, deep, and peaceful, even when it's complicated. Don't skip. During the day, they may still be quiet. They may still be distant. They may still choose to watch you from afar instead of stepping forward. And you might think, if they cared, wouldn't they just say something? You might doubt. You might get tired. This message is not here to trap you in waiting. It is here to free you from misunderstanding. Caring and courage do not always arrive at the same time. Love and readiness do not always meet on the same day. Some souls need a little more darkness before they finally choose light. Night by night, that choice is being prepared inside them. Stay till the end. There are nights where they almost press send. They write, "Hey, this is random, but I've been thinking about you." They stare at the blinking cursor. They feel their pulse in their fingertips. They wonder if you'll ignore it, if you'll be hurt, if you've moved on, if you're done. Fear tells them, you will look weak. Hope tells them, you will feel free. Guilt says, you don't deserve their energy anymore. Love whispers, they deserve to know they were never just a chapter. They were the book that changed you. Sometimes fear wins that night. Sometimes hope does. But every night, love grows a little louder. Don't skip. They also think about your journey. They wonder how you're really doing. They wonder if you still laugh at the same things, if you've picked up new habits, if you've healed in the places they once hurt. They may not reach out to ask, but that does not mean they do not care. They send you quiet blessings instead. May they be surrounded by good people. May they choose themselves. May they never see themselves through the lens of our ending alone. Something hug is waiting for you. You, too, are changing. You are no longer willing to dim your feelings to make others comfortable. You are no longer willing to over-explain your worth. You are no longer willing to stay small just to fit into stories that don't honor you. This is important. Because what is being prepared in the dark is not just them becoming more honest, but you becoming more grounded. Not just them becoming more courageous, but you becoming more clear. Two people, learning the same lesson, love is not about losing yourself. Love is about meeting in truth. Stay till the end. Some nights, they sit in complete silence, no music, no shows, no noise. Just breathing. Just thinking. Just feeling. And in that silence, your presence fills the space. Not like an invasion. Like a gentle memory that refuses to be erased. They remember your boundaries. The times you said, "This hurts me," or "I need more clarity," or "I can't do this halfway." At the time, they may have felt defensive. They may have thought you were demanding too much. Now, under the honesty of the night, they see that you were asking for exactly what they desperately needed too: truth, intention, respect. Don't skip. They are beginning to understand that what they once called too much is actually the exact amount required for real connection. They understand now that crumbs never built anything solid. They understand that depth was what terrified them, not you. There is a quiet apology forming in their heart. Not always in words. Sometimes in choices. Sometimes in who they are becoming. When they choose to sit with discomfort instead of running, that is an apology. When they choose to be kind to themselves instead of self-destructive, that is an apology. When they choose to change a pattern that once hurt you, that is an apology. Something hug is waiting for you. You may never see every detail of their process. You may never fully know how many nights your name has crossed their mind. You may never hear every sentence they've rehearsed and swallowed back. But you don't need every detail to know the truth. You deeply impacted them. You softened them. You woke them up. Don't skip. This is not here to tell you what will happen. This is not a promise of a reunion, a relationship, a fairy tale ending. Life is bigger than that. Free will is always involved. What this message is here to remind you is that nothing real goes unnoticed by the soul. No genuine love is wasted. No sincere care disappears into nothing. Your energy left fingerprints on their spirit. Your words left echoes in their mind. Your presence left warmth in their memory. Stay till the end. They are not idealizing you as perfect. They know you had flaws, just like they do. They remember your mistakes, your sharp moments, your own fears. But in the balance of everything, they see you now as human and precious, not perfect and pedestalized. They respect the way you tried. They respect the way you felt deeply. They respect the way you showed up, even when you were also scared. Some nights, they wonder if you still feel their energy. If you ever pause mid-task and suddenly think of them. If a song ever pulls up an image of their face. If a scent ever takes you back to a day you shared. They smile at the thought that maybe, somewhere, at the same time, you both look at the same moon and feel the same quiet tug. Don't skip. Hope is alive in them now, but it is a different kind of hope. Not the desperate, chasing, anxious hope. A steady, surrendered hope. Hope that says, whatever is meant to be, will be. Hope that says, if our paths cross again, I will show up as my truest self. Hope that says, even if they never know the full depth of my feelings, I am grateful for what their existence taught me. Something hug is waiting for you. The nights used to feel like punishment to them. Like a replay of everything they did wrong. Like a movie they couldn't turn off. Now, the nights feel more like guidance. Like mentorship from the universe. Like conversations with their own heart. They are learning to forgive themselves, not by erasing accountability, but by walking through it. They are learning that shame kept them stuck, but responsibility moves them forward. They are learning that avoiding emotion only postponed pain, it never prevented it. Stay till the end. You might feel your own energy shifting from questions to acceptance. From, why did this happen, to, what did this teach me? From, will they come back? To, am I living in a way that honors my heart right now? This shift is sacred. This is your growth mirroring theirs. This is you returning to yourself, with or without anyone else beside you. Don't skip. What they're doing every night would shock you if you could see it play out physically. You would see them stare at your old photos, not to obsess, but to remember how your eyes carried both fire and tenderness. You would see the way they pause over your name, like it's fragile glass they don't want to drop again. You would see the way their shoulders sag when they think no one's watching, as if they're putting down armor piece by piece. You would hear the soft, "I'm sorry," they say into their pillow. You would hear the, "I hope you're happy," they repeat like a mantra. You would hear the, "I wasn't ready then, but I'm trying to be ready now," they whisper only to themselves. Something hug is waiting for you. Their transformation is not loud. There are no fireworks, no speeches. Just tiny decisions in the dark that slowly build a different future. Choosing honesty over convenience. Choosing vulnerability over control. Choosing to lean in instead of shutting down. They are not just changing for you. They are changing for themselves. Because loving you, or losing you, or both, showed them what happens when they are not fully present with their own heart. Don't skip. You might feel tempted to reach out first. To break the silence. To shake the story awake. Maybe you already did. Maybe you won't. Whichever you choose, know this: your worth is not measured by who texts whom. Your value is not determined by their speed. Your destiny is not hanging by a seen/unseen message. You are allowed to live, to love, to grow, to rest. You are allowed to feel this connection and still choose yourself. You are allowed to trust the timing without putting your life on hold. Stay till the end. There will be a moment, whether in a message, a meeting, a memory, or a quiet internal knowing, where things make sense in a way they never did before. A moment where the heaviness you've carried breaks apart into understanding. A moment where you see that all these nights were not just about waiting, they were about preparing. Preparing you to stand stronger. Preparing them to show up kinder. Preparing the story, not necessarily for romance, but for truth. What is built in silence is often revealed in one simple, honest moment. Don't skip. Right now, as you read this, somewhere in their world, they are likely doing it again. Pausing mid-scroll because something reminds them of you. Touching the space next to them as if your memory still sits there. Looking at the stars for a little too long. They are not gone from this connection. They are not indifferent. They are in process. And you, my beloved soul, are not foolish for feeling it. Something hug is waiting for you. That something might be a conversation that brings you the closure you craved. It might be a reunion that feels softer than the ending ever did. It might be a realization that you don't need anything from them anymore to feel whole. Whatever shape it takes, it will carry truth. It will carry clarity. It will carry the weight of all these nights spent seeing clearly in the dark. Stay till the end. When that moment comes, it will not feel like a storm. It will feel like a sunrise. Gentle. Warm. Inevitable. You will look back and understand why the silence lasted as long as it did. Why the distance was necessary. why your heart wouldn't fully forget. You will see that the nights were never working against you. They were always working for you, both of you. Don't skip. Until then, your task is simple and holy: stay open. Stay grounded. Stay compassionate with yourself. Stay aware of your own needs. Let them do their nightly work without you trying to manage it. Let them face their reflections without you trying to hold the mirror. Let their growth be their own, just as yours is yours. And trust, deeply, quietly, that what is meant for you will not simply pass you by. It may take the long way. It may move slowly through many nights. But it will not miss you. Something hug is waiting for you. Maybe it is love returning in a healthier form. Maybe it is a new love shaped by what you both learned separately. Maybe it is simply the softest peace you've ever known, settling into your chest like a long-awaited exhale. Whatever arrives, you will be ready. Because these nights have not only changed them, they have changed you. Stay till the end, my beloved soul. When you close your eyes tonight, know this: somewhere, someone is also closing their eyes, and in that exact quiet moment, your soul will cross their mind like a gentle light. They will feel that familiar warmth. They will remember that they are capable of deep feeling. They will silently thank you for being the proof. And in some invisible space between your hearts, there will be a soft understanding: nothing real was ever lost. It was simply being transformed in the dark. Don't skip. Trust the nights. Trust your heart. Trust the connection that refuses to be erased. What they're doing every night would shock you. Not because it is dramatic, but because it is honest. And honesty, my beloved soul, is the quiet miracle you have been waiting for all along.